That's a great way to start. Hello, anyone out there? So, yeah, just stuff going on. Just like a little bit of a bot raid. As I have like the start screen on, so kind of worried about that, but I usually get them when you have the start screen on, so that's good, I guess. It's like they're not getting back. I don't know. I don't know how you work, so. But anyways. Alright, I need to stop that. Okay, that just threw so much off for me. Alright, so I don't exactly remember what is going on. Let's see, we both pause outside. Once we see the dazzling sky, it's a place with streaks of violet and gold. Even the puffs of clouds passing by are potential lavender or wait, oh, painted. Really a potential from. Painted lavender and orange, adding to the portrait in the sky. Alright, so we just met and absorbed the power of that air elemental. Before that was earth, and before that fire. So I think there's oh, what else is there? Fire, earth, air. Do we also have water? And then there's like shadow or dark or whatever. The colors seem more vibrant, so high up here, and the view takes my breath away.
I thought the view was beautiful before, but this is a wonder.
We take in the scenery. This is what I meant earlier. Things like this create memory that lasts a lifetime.
I agree.
Golden rays shine brightly in the sky as the sun travels beneath the clouds, like one last hurrah from the sun before it sets. We admire the sunset for a few more minutes before Leona turns to me.
Are you ready to go back?
I pause. I don't want to leave. I could stay here, watching the sunset forever. After a moment, I finally nod. Yeah, I think so. Let's get going. Leona smiles, and together we navigate our way back. The journey back is significantly easier, as we are jumping to lower platforms rather than higher. We make good time traveling back. Even still, we would periodically stop just to take in the view again. This is definitely a sight I will never forget. We finally make it back to the tip of the mountain where we started. I hear the thunderous crack of dischargers in the distance. Leona and I freeze. What's that? Another boom interrupts me. I hurry down and I hear the clang of blades and the sharp crackle of spouts.
Something's wrong.
Leona runs. I sprint after her. The closer we approach, the clearer the sounds become. The clashing of steel, dischargers firing, people yelling, my heart pounds, and I urge the wind to propel me faster. From here, I can make out Amy, Zack, and Kara surrounded by a group of bandits. Half a dozen of them surround Zack alone.
We have you now, Death Slinger.
Leona seems surprised. She mutters under her breath.
Death Slinger?
A wall of flames explodes in the bandits' path. Their attacks waver as the crackling fire makes them take cover. It takes me a whole second to realize that Amelia cast it.
We have to help!
Amy wills the flames to climb higher, her face twisted in concentration. Amy, watch out! Amelia spins around.
Ha!
A gale booms across the field, tearing apart grass and flinging up dirt. The bandits go flying.
They've got backup!
Leona, you weep. Here our group, she scowls and draws her blade.
Don't just stand there! Get them!
I should be used to unexpected things like this by now, but my heart still pounds. I unsheath my sword. Oop, what's this? Yay.
Is everyone okay?
I'm not panting and surveying the damage around me. I need new glasses. Being cheese. Zack grabs one of the bandits who is barely hanging on to consciousness.
How did you find me?
Kara's eyes widen.
Find you?
The bandits stay silent. With a frustrated growl, Zack drops him back down to the ground and grabs another bandit. He takes out the blaster and shoots the bandit he dropped. The guy yelps as the bolt blasts into him. He faces the new bandit he grabbed.
Talk, or the same thing happens to you.
The bandit spits in Zack's face.
I have nothing to say to you, traitor.
Zack scowls and punches the man across the face, knocking him out cold.
Traitor?
We hear shallow laughter and turn to face another bandit, clutching his side.
No one joins the Cloaked Brotherhood and leaves. You should already know that. Zack Spade.
Cloaked Brotherhood?
Zack walks over to the bandit and kicks him across the face until he finally falls unconscious. Zack searches for any other bandits who may be awake, but no one else is responsive. Suddenly, Kara marches up to Zack with her Tigertron. Whoa, what the—
Kara! You were a part of the Cloaked Brotherhood this entire time?
Kara's voice is harsh and her eyes may contain hostility. Zack holds her gaze and doesn't flinch.
I am not a part of the Cloaked Brotherhood.
Then why did he call you a traitor? How do they know what your name is? Tell me!
Zack steps closer to her blade, his expression cold and stony.
I already told you, I am not a part of them.
Kara rejects her blade, but keeps glaring at him.
How do you even know who the Cloaked Brotherhood are?
Kara's eyes harden into polished jade. Her voice is flat and cold. That was a little superfluous. About the eyes.
Because they destroyed my only home and family.
She sheathes her dagger and begins to walk away. Amy had stayed silent this entire time watching the scene unfold, but she tries to stop Kara.
Kara.
Kara stops and gently shrugs out of her grasp.
I need some time to think.
Then she disappears into the trees. The air around Zack has been thick with tension ever since the ambush. Kara still hasn't returned. We set up camp without her. Not really sure what to do. Zack stays secluded from us and leans against the tree. His hair covers his face. It's been a while. Maybe we should look her. Liana frowns and shakes her head.
It's probably best to give her some space for now.
Oh, she's probably right. Still, there's a heavy weight on my chest. I can tell Kara's hurting, but I'm even more confused by what's going on. What was that guild they were talking about?
I'm not too sure. It sounds like a mercenary guild.
Probably not a reputable one, considering Kara's reaction. Liana looks troubled. What's wrong?
They called him the Death Slinger.
Who exactly is the Death Slinger?
He's an infamous mercenary for hire. They say he has a death wish. The Death Slinger would take on missions and jobs that no one else would take on because of how dangerous they were. Anyone crazy enough to do those jobs were said to have no regard for their own life. Somehow the Death Slinger took those impossible jobs and found a way to survive. At the Mage Guild, we were warned that there were certain encounters, or individuals, who if we ran into, we would not, under any circumstances, engage them. The Death Slinger is one of those people. He has one of the highest body counts out of any mercenary.
I look at Zack. He may be a bit rough around the edges, but I know that deep down, he cares about people. What the Death Slinger did, it doesn't sound like Zack at all. But this also isn't the first time we've seen him with bandits after him. When we first encountered him, Liana mentioned those bandits seemed weird. Was it this mercenary guild chasing him? Can we trust Zack? Liana hesitates, but Amelia picks up.
Regardless of Zack's past, it appears his present self is no longer affiliated with the Cloaked Brotherhood or his persona of Deathslinger. He has also not betrayed us thus far.
I suppose if he really wanted to do us harm, there have been plenty of opportunities already. Liana nods, deep in thought. Still, I wonder what that guy meant by traitor. Amy frowns pensively.
I have a few theories. Although, I do not advocate jumping to any conclusions before we have discussed the matters with Zack or Kara. Regardless, his previous time as Deathslinger is something he has attempted to keep hidden as a way to disassociate himself with his past.
The online line. Everyone has a past, but it's how they act in the future that is important. I hear footsteps. We turn to see Kara finally returning to camp. Zack rolls around. I can't read the expression on his face. Relief? Uncertainty? As she gets closer, I notice that her eyes are puffy and pink. It's clear that she's been crying, but her expression remains cold. She stops in front of Zack.
Tell me about the Cloaked Brotherhood.
What do you want to know?
How did you become associated with them?
Zack pauses. At first I think he's gonna refuse to answer. But eventually he does.
They gave me my mission to silence a target. It was a part of their initiation.
Kara inhales sharply.
So you were looking to join them.
I can't see her face, but by her voice, I can tell she's angry and disgusted. Zack nods. Kara's frown deepens.
That was before I knew what they were all about. When I went to carry out the mission, that's when I found out the truth. My target was an ex-member of the Cloaked Brotherhood. The rule is, the Brotherhood is for life. This person didn't want to kill anymore, and he ran away. He was being hunted but had evaded the Brotherhood for years.
It's like at some point, Zack had a change of heart, and somehow, like, things changed, or whatever.
When they finally found him, he was living a simple life in a small village with a wife and 2 kids. The mission was to kill him and everyone close to him, and to send a clear message for anyone else who would want to leave the Brotherhood. That was my initiation. I know my target killed people. Probably innocent people too, since he was part of the Brotherhood. But his family was innocent. Their only crime was knowing him. I've never killed innocent people before, and I wasn't going to start then.
I risk a glance over my shoulder. Kara's arms are crossed, but she seems to be listening.
When I found my target, I warned him of my mission and told him I would cover him so he and his family could escape. I knew the others who joined me in my mission would kill me if they knew I'd betrayed them, so I took them out before they could get me. And then I let my target go free. Once the Cloaked Brotherhood found out I didn't complete the mission and help the target escape, I knew they would start hunting me. I tried to get away and stayed in hiding for as long as I could.
Kara finally lets out a loose sigh. The tension winds from her body as she sums a little. She seems to believe Zack. Zack looks directly at Kara.
But they are a very covert guild who deal in secrets. How do you even know of the Cloaked Brotherhood?
Her voice is thick with tears, and I can tell she's trying to hold them back.
My dad was one of their targets. He had stumbled into some information when he was working as a treasurer's assistant. He reported it to the treasurer, who had been corrupt and sought to silence him. We escaped, but our life was never the same. We had to move from city to city and never stayed in one place for longer than a few days. My dad would be gone for hours, sometimes even days at a time. But no matter how long he was gone, I was never really afraid because I always knew he'd come back for me. Until one day, he didn't. I knew something had happened to him, but I had no way of finding him. I spent my life trying to figure out what had happened. I dug into as much as I could. The treasurer, what it was, who called the hit, everything. I found out it was the Cloaked Brotherhood who did it, but there was no more information I could gather on them. They cover all of their tracks. I'm not sure if he's really dead or not. I've tried to come to terms with it.
But you want closure.
Zack pauses and surveys for a moment.
I know their base of operation. They have a ledger there that keeps records of all the jobs. So even though this happened years ago, you could still find your answer.
Kara's back straightens. There's a glimmer of hope in her eyes.
But do you really want to know the truth? It might not be the answer you want to hear.
Kara's jaw clenches, and her eyes, her eyes are aflame with determination.
Yes.
Zack nods. Kara's expression softens.
I'm sorry for jumping to conclusions earlier. I just haven't heard the name Cloaked Brotherhood in so long, and as soon as I heard it...
I understand.
I won't be able to concentrate knowing there's finally a lead I can pursue about my dad. As much as I don't want to, I'll have to leave the group.
She turns away, but Zack grabs her arm.
I'm coming with you.
Oh wow, that music. Kara's eyes widen.
What?
I've been running from my past for long enough, but enough is enough. They'll never stop searching for me, and the longer I run, the more I put others at risk.
Holy shit, this is anime as fuck. He gestures at Amy and the rest of us.
I don't want to be the one that puts all of us in danger. I'd never forgive myself if I let them hurt the ones I care about most.
He looks into Kara's eyes. Her cheeks flush. A small smile graces her lips.
I guess we'll both be leaving then.
Looks like it.
When you turn around to approach, Sienna is already standing, smiling expectantly.
So, where do we go next to take care of the Cloaked Brotherhood?
Kara freezes, her mouth agape.
What?
You said you guys are going to take care of that guild, right? What's our next step?
Zack and I are going to go alone.
Amy shakes her head.
If your description of the Cloaked Brotherhood is accurate, then this mission will have a greater chance of success with the aid of the entire group.
Absolutely not. It's too dangerous.
I believe my combat abilities as a mage caster have been proven on numerous occasions.
And as a Mage Knight and an active member of the Mage Guild, I have been trained for dangerous missions such as this.
But what about collecting energy to help him get back home?
They look expectantly at me. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna be stupid and say, yeah, I won't be a part of this. I mean, this is like some heavy shit. You guys can feel that, like, I'll just go back to town, I'll like hang out, and like you can get me when you're all done. See, I'd rather continue on my journey and quest to return home, but the others have already made their intentions clear, and I'd be a pretty terrible human being if I selfishly chose me over my friends. I'll wait until after I return home to act like a jerk. No way of getting out of this then. We've already hit 3 temples, and that last temple isn't going anywhere anytime soon. You all didn't hesitate to help me when I needed it. I know my skills aren't quite as impressive, but I'm ready to do my part to help you guys too. Kauna smiles approving of my response. Yeah, power of friendship. Kara is at a loss for words.
I'm not sure what to say.
Boy!
But yeah, of course, gotta have the mascot. We all glance in surprise at the Pongo. See, even the Pongo wants to go.
Boy!
He nuzzles Kara's eggs. He gives that continued look, he returns his look with a stunning glance.
Boy!
Mustering up his courage, he scoots over to Zack and nuzzles his leg briefly, then races to the safety of my legs. Zack's expression not harsh as he watches the Pongo.
If this is what you guys want to do, I'm not gonna stop you.
Kara looks like she's about to say something, then changes her mind and shakes her head. A smile spreads across her lips.
Thanks, you guys.
The tensions in the air disperse and things start to feel like they're back to normal. Liana and Kara share white grins, and even Amy looks positive.
Let's get going then.
I stealthily go and return of this.
Hold on, Zach. It's already nighttime and we don't have a plan formulated. I think we can afford one extra day to set everything out.
Liana nods.
Let's sleep on it and decide what our next steps will be in the morning.
Yeah, but don't you hear the cool rocking music? Come on, we need to go. We need to beat enemy.
Sounds good to me.
Zack heads to his bedroll, and the rest of us filter into our own bedrolls too. I gradually fall asleep on the last embers as the last embers of the fire die down and snuff out. Yeah, don't wanna fall asleep on the fire. The next day I wake up to the sound of voices. Looking over, I see Zack and Kara speaking in low whispers. They consult Liana and Amelia, while the Pongo snores softly beside me. As I stare in my bedroll, Liana glances over at me.
Good morning.
Good morning. The Pongo opens groggy eyes as I carefully scoot up the bedroll. Sorry, I was trying not to wake you. Go back to sleep. He opens his mouth wide and the sleepy yawn.
Boy.
Shaking himself in a little shudder, he blinks his eyes a few times, and then focuses a wide grin.
Boy.
I guess he's awake now. He hops with me as I take a seat with the rest of the party. So what's going on?
We're mapping out our route to the Cloaked Brotherhood's hideout.
I figured you might want to sleep in. It'll end up being a bit of a journey to get there.
Thank you, Fiona, and an appreciative smile. Thanks. So where are we headed then?
The Cloak Brotherhood is located somewhere within Bridgewick, and that's located back towards the southeast.
Sounds like we'll be doing a little bit of backtracking.
You are correct. However, that is still advantageous towards our main goal. To reach the Water Temple, we would have to travel in the same direction regardless.
That's not too bad then. Although I figured no matter what, we'd have to travel south since we're pretty far up north. Car faces that.
You're positive the Cloaked Brotherhood is in Bridgewick? How do you know if you never joined them? Even through all my research and contacts, I wasn't able to learn their location. They keep it very well protected.
I wasn't supposed to know it either. The Brotherhood doesn't reveal the location until you've been initiated. When I was sent to complete my initiation mission, one of the men let slip the location before confirming the completion of my mission. I haven't gone there myself to confirm, so once we reach Bridgewick, we'll need to do more scouting.
It still sounds like our best lead.
I guess we have our plan then. Give me a peek and call it up. The team separates as we bring up the camp and get ready to depart. Then we begin the trek towards Bridgewick. It takes us a few days to travel back south. Even though the mission of our journey has changed, Liana still has me follow a strict training regimen. We continue to practice sparring and casting, and I feel myself improve with each session. It won't be long before I can beat Liana in a match. I hope. After about 5 days of traveling, we finally arrive in Bridgewick. The cobblestone streets are paved and well kept. As we pass through the marketplace, I hear the glowing voices of peddlers advertising their wares. The traditional shop fronts line the streets, and a few shopkeepers chase away any... Oh. Okay, that's something like... a few shopkeepers chase away any tents set up in front of their stores. The pungo buries his face into my neck as we walk through. People bustle about as they shop. Everything about this town feels strangely ordinary. If I had known any better, I would have guessed there's a dark guild hiding beneath the ordinary facade. I mean, that's kinda like what it would do. It's not like there's a big glowing sign saying like Dark Brotherhood this way.
What is it?
This place seems kinda pleasant.
What were you expecting?
Yeah, for real. Something more like a Wolfstein vibe, honestly.
Hiding someplace unremarkable is a pretty good strategy. They don't typically see too much crime here.
I wonder how much influence they have on the townsfolk here.
Probably very little. I'd guess that most of the townsfolk don't even realize that the Brotherhood is even here.
Even so, I'm not sure I like the idea of just hanging out in plain view like city ducks. Maybe Maybe we should go to the inn until we can figure out what to do next. Zack shakes his head.
Too many people might recognize me there.
I thought you said the townspeople are innocent.
They may be, but the inn is a prime target to leave Cloaked Brotherhood scouts. They'll most likely recognize Zack and alert the guild that he's here.
Claire frowns, looking worried.
That's a good point, which brings up an even larger problem. Where can Zack hide out? It might take a few days to even find a lead. He has to be able to stay and sleep somewhere.
I have a contact here. We can ask him if he'll let me lay low for a while.
Claire raises her eyebrow.
Who is it?
A friend of a friend. He won't turn us away.
Zack leads us through the city and pauses in front of a small shop. A sign with a hammer and bell hangs above the door. This must be a blacksmith's forge. Well, figure that out up yourself, huh? He opens the door and a small bell dings above our heads. Weapons line the wall, and their blades are winking in the night, that light. I can hear the faint sound of a hammer smacking against metal as an orange glow flickers down the hall. We wait a few minutes to see if anyone comes out. When no one does, Zack leads us into the back where we see a man. His face is sweaty and raw in concentration as he hammers a blade. Sparks fly when he hits it. The constant hammering is making my ears ring. Zack steps out of the doorway, his shadow casting over the man's work.
Hey.
The man looks up and blinks.
Oh, good afternoon.
He wipes his forehead with a backwards arm and smiles.
Sorry to keep you waiting. It's usually pretty quiet out front at this time. What can I do for you?
Are you Adrian?
His smile remains on his face, but a line of tension creases his brows.
I am. Who's asking?
I'm a friend of Damon.
Adrian's eyes widen and he lets out a long, slow breath.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
He always spoke very highly of you. Said the only blade worth having was the one forged by Adrian.
Adrian laughs, a deep, throaty rumble.
And then he switched to dischargers. Lost out my business when that happened.
His expression softens as he takes a closer look at Zack.
You that boy you took in? Although, you're not so much a boy anymore.
Zack.
Adrian laughs.
I'm sorry about what happened to Damon. He didn't deserve to go like that.
No, he didn't.
Zack lowers his head so his hair falls into his eyes. Zack isn't usually this emotional. Whoever they're talking about, he must have meant a lot to Zack.
Anyway, Damon was like a brother to me, and I know how much he cared about you. He wouldn't stop talking about how you were going to be one of the best mercs out there, maybe rivaling even him. Anything I can do to help, you just let me know. A friend of Damon's is a friend of mine.
Zack nods. He takes a moment to recompose himself, then looks back up.
I appreciate the offer. In fact, I do have a favor to ask. Would it be alright if I lay low here for a while?
Blacksmith strokes his chin, smearing suit across his back. I notice the skin of his forearms looks like it's been melted. It takes me a moment to realize that they're burn scars.
I won't ask why, but can you promise me you won't bring anything back to my shop? I don't need any trouble here.
I promise you won't be involved at all.
He grins a little and nods.
Then, feel free to stay as long as you need.
Thank you.
The rest of you going to stay here too?
Diana shakes her head.
It's a bit crowded in here, and we've got some things to take care of first.
Hi!
Adrian eyes the Pongo wearily. The Pongo shrinks from his gaze.
Boy?
He wobbles over to my legs and hides behind me. Well, actually the Pongo might stay. You'll be on your best behavior, right? He grins up at me and cuddles against my leg.
Boy.
Just in case, I reach for small crystals stuck on the shelves and fish for a handful of coins which I offer to Adrian. Is it okay if I buy this? He accepts my coins. I offer the crystals to Pongo. He like these, snatches it up. He wiggles happily in a little jiggle dance.
Boy.
The other mouth as she watches the Pongo.
Aww.
You should be good to go and won't touch anything else in the shop. Satisfied, Adrian nods.
All right, you can stay.
Car touches that side.
We'll be back as soon as we can.
Nods but doesn't say anything. Car gives a gentle squeeze before I return to the main room. We pause before leaving the shop. Once outside, I face the remainder of our party.
Alright, we've got to find the location of the Cloaked Brotherhood's hideout. It'll make more sense if we split up to find information.
Agreed. Our best course of action is to investigate in pairs. That way, should anyone befall any trouble, they will not be alone.
Good thinking.
Amy and I will start in the north of the town, while you two start in the south. We'll meet up back here afterwards.
Once agreed, we split up. Dan and I head off in one direction, while Kara and Amelia go the opposite way. Dan and I pause at the marketplace.
I'll scout some of the buildings out around here and see if I can find any unusual activity.
Okay, if you ask around inside, I can look around out here in the marketplace. She grins.
Sounds like a plan.
She heads off. I turn around and scan the area. Okay, as the Sheila-looking group hanging out near the alleyway, that seems obvious. I walk into a group of people, mostly young guys. They're clustered together, looking off in the alley. Someone must have said something funny because they abruptly burst into laughter. Hey! They look up at me.
What do you want?
You have to be a little subtle. Is anything weird been going on in this town? narrows his eyes.
What do you mean, weird?
Like people disappearing, crime rates going up, assassins, ninjas. He thinks,
What?
what? Norton waves his hand.
Get out of here, kid. We don't know what you're talking about.
They walk away with a soft sigh. Maybe they weren't the best people to ask. Excuse me. The woman freezes. She stops and turns around. The woman's mouth pulls into a distorted frown. She takes in my leather armor and the sword strapped to my back. Her eyes guarded and wary. She shuffles her son behind her.
What do you want?
I was wondering if you could tell me a little about the town. Her eyes narrow.
What about it?
I just moved here a bit ago. Is there anything you think I should know? Lauren pauses, her lips flatten into a thin line.
Yes. You shouldn't be traveling alone.
A grip tightens around her little boy's hand. My stomach clenches. Oh. I shift uncomfortably. Why, is there anyone strange out there? Lauren's mouth clenches shut. Clearly she's not up to answering any more of my questions.
If you'll excuse me.
She lowers her way past me and disappears back into the crowd. The two guards are playing some kind of dice game in front of a fancy-looking building with a rather fence. They don't seem to be keeping a particularly good eye on the town. Excuse me. The guards pass the look.
Yes, can we help you?
How about that cloak Brotherhood, am I right? Have you guys heard anything new about the Cloak Brotherhood?
The cloaked what?
You know, the Cloak Brotherhood.
Never heard of them, kid.
Right, sorry to bother you. I leave them be. That wasn't as successful as I hoped it'd be. I search for Liana and find her outside one of the buildings. Any luck? She shakes her head. Me neither.
Maybe we should head back and see if the others have had more success.
Good idea. We make our way back to the blacksmith shop. It looks like Kara and Amelia are already waiting for us.
There you guys are!
Kara spits into a bright smile when she sees us. She seems to be in a good mood. If this means you found something.
You bet! I think I got a lead.
I raise my eyebrows, impressed. Really? She nods.
I noticed there were a lot of people going in and out of this one area. It might be nothing, or it could lead us exactly where we need to go.
Leon nods in agreement.
That sounds like our best bet. We should grab Zack and get going.
When we look at Zack, comment on what we found. He's trapped on the discharger, and together we head out of the shop. Car takes us to a shortcut in the city. Hitting more excited streets. The fewer people see Zack, the better. She steers us into an alleyway and then turns another sharp corner.
Right here.
She gestures to a house. I squint at it. It doesn't look any different than the other houses in the city. What exactly am I looking at?
This place doesn't seem like much, but I've seen people come in and out. If this was someone's home, you'd expect to see the same person there all the time. But that's not the case.
Let's check it out then.
There's a man stationed right outside the home, but Zack easily knocks him out. As we enter the house, the first thing I see is a rickety dining table and a maker kitchen. Sunlight slices across the floor from a single window. I notice a red flap covering the entrance to what might be another room. I walks around the room, testing the floors and walls for hanging. Oh shit, I just remembered something. So for hello sounds, she shoves aside a curtain to expose a blank wall. Pushing against the knot in the wood, the wall swings back to reveal a doorway leading to an underground staircase. Cool. There it is, okay. I wait for her to grin or make one of her usual jokes, but she doesn't. Instead, her jaw clenches. She looks nervous. We all stare down into the dark.
Let's go.
I simply nod. We descend down the stairs. A bright bright light bursts through the dark. At the steps, I can hear two male voices. Whoever it is, it sounds like they're laughing and joking with each other. Zack throws his dischargers. There's a crack and then a flash of violet light. The sentry grunts in pain and collapses before he even has a chance to sound the alarm. I dash down and ready my sword. Flash. Whoosh. Whoosh. Blink. Whoosh. The guard cuts at my face with his sword. I lunge, blocking him with a spray of sparks. My manipulator glows, and I hack at him again. He cries out, struggling to keep up. With a final swing, his sword clatters to the ground. With the sentries disposed of, we step past him and follow the hallway. Zack leads the way as the hall leads up to a large room. It's decorated with deep wooden tables. It looks to be like some sort of guild hall. There are all kinds of areas branching from the hall. One of which is guarded. If I had to guess, the ledgers are probably stored in that room. The others must have come to the same conclusion as we creep closer to get a better look. A floorboard creaks and another bandit hears us. He scrambles for his discharger's waist, but he's not fast enough. Kauna shoots her hand out, and the wind gale blasts him away.
Let's go!
We walk around the bandit sprawled across the floor and follow Zack into the room. A man looks up at us from behind the desk. He has a shock of red hair and a few scars across his face.
You can't be back here. This is for authorized...
He freezes, the word on his lips. Then his eyes widen. Oh, like we know each other.
Zack?
A heavy pause. Zack's face is taut with shock.
It can't be. There!
Bear gapes at him. Then his expression melts into a wry smile, and a laugh bubbles out of him.
Of course it's you. It's always you, isn't it?
Zack's face is frozen with shock and confusion.
There! You're alive!
Yes, and I'm just as surprised to see you, too. Although I really shouldn't be. I should have known better.
What are you talking about? Where have you been this whole time?
A bit slow on the uptake. Honestly, I expected better from you, Zack, the prodigal son.
You've been here, with the Cloaked Brotherhood.
There you go! I knew you'd get there eventually.
Zack's eyes darken to the color of a storm.
Our last mission together. You, me, Damon, and the others. We had to transport the weapons. Seemed easy enough at the time. You were there on the crystal rail with us. But you weren't there when they all got attacked.
Vader's mouth curls into a snarl.
Apparently, neither were you.
No. I was sent to look for you. We thought maybe something happened when you didn't return from scouting.
Damon couldn't even trust me to do one thing. He sent you to fix it for me, didn't he?
He was worried about you. That's what happens when you're part of a team.
Don't give me that bullshit.
Bear's eyes narrow. He grips the back of a chair so hard his knuckles turn white. The words flow out of his mouth like poison, each one more dipped and venomous than the last.
Damon only cared about you. The rest of us only mattered in how we compared to you.
That's not true!
How would you know?
I knew Damon. He cared about all of us. We were a family!
You're still just as naive as before. And if Damon hadn't trusted you as much as he did, maybe he'd still be alive.
Zack's grip on his discharger tightens.
You were sent to find me, but you couldn't, because I'm smarter than you, and always have been. It's too bad Damon wasn't able to see that, but I found people who did.
He gestures to around him.
If you had caught me, then maybe the attack wouldn't have happened. Maybe the Cloaked Brotherhood wouldn't have secured the weapons and killed everyone on that crystal rail. Damon died because you couldn't complete your mission.
Suddenly, a low crack rings in my ears and a flash of purple sparks in my vision. Zack stands with his discharger raised while Vader clutches at his side. He snarls as he whips out his own discharger and shoots at Zack, who deftly dodges it. I snap back to reality and pull out my sword. Leon and Amelia power up their manipulators as Kara reaches for her daggers. Goes. It's almost too slow. Bear composed into a heap on the ground, gasping. Zack's eyes are dark abyss as he calmly aims his discharger at Bear's head. Kara's eyes widen.
Zack, what are you doing?
My stomach is an absolute twist. Leona and Amelia look equally as shocked. Zack. Zack's grip on his discharger tightens. Kara slowly steps towards him.
Look at him. He's done. You don't have to do this.
No, yes you do. The discharger shakes in his hand. Hurt and anger flashes across his face.
I understand your anger, your pain, but killing him won't make all that pain disappear. It won't bring back your friend.
Kara gently touches Zack's arm.
Don't stoop to his level. You won't be able to come back from it.
You really don't know him, do you? He's killed countless people just like I have. You really think one more to his tally will hurt his conscience? Don't be so stupid.
Zack doesn't comment.
Just do it already.
Zack's grip tightens once more as he arms his weapon. My breath catches in my throat, and the air stills in tension as time seems to freeze.
No.
He lowers his weapon. Bear exhales hard and laughs.
You've gone weak. Maybe we aren't as much alike as I thought.
You're right. Because I'm nothing like you. I don't murder the people I care about.
What?
You were my brother for the longest time, and family is complicated. You'll have to live with what you did, and maybe it won't be today or tomorrow. But someday, your decisions will come back to haunt you.
Bear scuffs.
That soft heart is what got Damon killed, and what will eventually kill you, too.
Zack swings the discharger around, crunching into Bear's temple. He jumps to the ground. The encroaching quiet, seeping in, seems to bring life back to us. Zack breathes hard as he stares at the body on the ground.
You did the right thing.
He doesn't say anything. It's over Liana. Her blue eyes watch that closely. Her mouth a thin line. I wonder what she's thinking about. I hear soft rustling and see Amelia rummaging through the books. Amy? She looks up.
Yes?
Are you sure now's a good time to be doing that?
The goal of this mission is to acquire the ledger which contains information regarding Kara's family. Is it not?
Her voice wavers as she tries to put on a brave face.
It is evident that these books are the ledgers which we seek. To find the specific book, we would need to require a lengthy amount of time which we do not have. I would advise all of us to assist in this function.
Lovely. Maybe this is her way of coping with the situation. I just retorts that he shakes his head.
Amy's right. We need to find the ledger and get out of here.
He shakes off Kara's grasp and begins pulling out books.
What date should we be looking for, Kara?
Oh, let me think.
Kara heads over to Zach, Billy, and I jump in to help. Once we know what dates to search for, we get started on sorting the books. We work tirelessly, glancing behind us every so often to see if anyone's noticed us. Then Zach wordlessly hands Kara a ledger. Her eyes search his as she takes the book with trembling hands.
Is that the ledger we require?
Kara nods but doesn't read it. We awkwardly, but Kara doesn't move.
Why don't we just take it with us? We can read it at a more fitting time. Right now, we might have to get out of here before more of the Brotherhood finds us.
Yeah.
Kara shakes her head to clear her thoughts and her voice grows stronger.
I mean, you're right. We need to get out of here.
Emilia grabs a few more books and tucks them under her arm. What are you doing?
I'm acquiring proof should we wish to alert the proper authorities about the Cloaked Brotherhood.
Good idea. I think those will be enough, though. Let's go.
We could not we step out of the room. I mean, assuming they're gonna stay there after, like, the ruckus, I'm sure they would, like, move. I follow the group through a corridor and we navigate to the exit. The sky is a canvas of darkness when we exit the house. Lights are sprinkled in this blanket of paint, with a soft breath of relief. We bit. Zach marches ahead of us. He approaches first guard we find. The guard stiffens as Zach approaches, taking his black coat and scarf.
Can I help you?
Yes. We discovered something that might be interesting to you.
Oh?
There's a band of dangerous mercenaries living in this area. They're called the Cloaked Brotherhood, known for taking on jobs which hurt innocent people. We've just discovered their home base.
The guard looks surprised.
I've never heard of this group.
That's the point.
He seems dismissive and skeptical.
It's pretty hard to believe that a dangerous organization has been in this town the whole time without our knowledge.
They don't operate openly.
Still, the guard seems unconvinced. Zack shows the 3 books Amy grabbed from the ledger room at him.
Here's a list of some of their targets, and these are just a few of them. There's a whole room full of even more names and missions.
The guard rolls his eyes as he opens the first book, but his jaw tightens as he flips through the pages. After what he would see.
These are death dates.
Yes.
He continues to flip through the book, then opens up the second.
Look how far back these dates and names go. They've been operating for a while.
The guard snaps the book shut, his mouth frowning in obvious distaste.
Where did you say you found this?
His voice is hard and his eyes steely. Zack points to the house.
There's a hidden doorway behind a curtain in the front room. You'll need reinforcements.
I'll look into this. If all of this is real, then there are serious crimes being committed.
His demeanor changes completely from the bored, listless man who he approached. His footsteps are brisk and sharp as he seeks out his fellow guard. Kara still clinging to her book. She clutches it to her chest. Zack notices Kara's expression.
Come on, let's go to the inn.
She furrows her brows.
What if someone sees you?
It doesn't matter anymore. The scouts will return to headquarters to discover an army of guards storming the place. I'll be the last of their worries.
That's true.
Kara sounds like she's still in a daze as Zack stares her towards the inn. The rest of us follow silently behind. When we arrive at the inn, we hurry upstairs, walking faster than normal. Zack doesn't stop to make eye contact with any of the other patrons, even though a few of them do a double take. The car goes into her room. Zack follows her and swings the door shut behind him. But it catches on the back of his heel, which stops him from closing out of the way. He must have a one-track mind because he doesn't seem to notice.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Kara takes a deep breath.
Yes.
She closes her eyes.
No.
Her face twists.
But I need to. I need to know.
Take your time. Whenever you're ready.
She nods, not meeting his eyes. I should go. We should leave, but Leon and Amelia stand on either side of me, rooted to the spot. Even the pongo is still and silent. After what seems to be a turning, Kara flips through the book, biting her lip. There's a lengthy pause. I can see her eyes flicker across the page. She freezes. A visible weight seems to leave Kara's body. The book goes limp in her hand, hanging wide open from her fingertips. I don't think she even realizes it's still there.
At least now I know.
Heartbreak flickers across Liana's face.
Oh, Kara! so sorry.
My chest gives a painful tug. Are you alright? Carnot.
I'm fine.
But her voice is tight. She tries to put on a smile but can't hide the pain from her face. Zack takes a step towards her. He touches her arm and something in Kara's expression changes.
I'm fine. Really.
I know.
Kara's eye begins to show with tears. She shakes her head.
I know.
Gently, he folds her into his arms. The ledger falls to the ground with a soft thud. Her voice cracks as she tries to hold back tears. Zack's arms wrap tightly around her. She clings to him and she can't hold back any longer. They stand there together, Kara's body shuddering from her deep sobs as Zack holds her, as strong and steady as a rock. My heart caves. I want to help, but I don't know what to do. I mean, obviously, like, what can you even do? Like, Liana touches my arm.
We should go.
I'm not. Giving them some space is maybe the best thing I can do for her and Zack at this point. Liana and Amelia slowly walk away. I reach out and gently shut the door, following after them. We sit downstairs at a table while we wait. Liana asks where he glances upstairs.
I feel for both Kara and Zack.
Yeah, Bear and Zack have some intense history. I guess they both ran in the same circle. Was looked after by Damien. Excuse me.
Ultimately, Vare was unsatisfied with the group, and to complete his initiation into the Cloaked Brotherhood, he had his team killed.
Wait, how do you know that was his initiation? Amy fixes me with her big eyes. Because I listened to his story, you idiot.
Zack expressed that the Brotherhood's initiations require a hefty sacrifice. For Zack, it was to spill the blood of the innocents. It would stand to reason that the Brotherhood would have offered a similar mission to Vare.
That makes what happened even more horrific. How could he just turn on his team like that?
Hopefully this was all worth it though, to give Kara some closure.
Yeah. Having an idea of what happened isn't the same as reality confirming it.
The conversation falls to a close. There is really not much to say after what's happened. Finally, after what feels like an hour, Zack and Kara come downstairs from the room. We all shoot to a stand.
Hey, how are you feeling?
Kara hastily wipes her face.
It still hurts, but it's a little better now.
She gives a small, weak smile.
Thank you guys for coming with me.
Anna smiles back.
Of course.
A few other people from the inns and the scariest glances, some patrons squint at Zack.
We should get out of here.
A shiver runs down my spine. Yeah, I agree. All the mothering and staring is starting to make me feel uneasy. Not only that, but this place is still technically dangerous. I'd really rather not have another encounter with the Cloaked Brotherhood. Not wasting more time, we gather what we need and leave. When we are far enough from the city, we finally stop to make camp. The crescent moon hangs low in the clouds. Zack prepares dinner, and we sit around the small fire. The Pongo huddles close to Kara. She absentmindedly pats his head and gives me a hug. It's silent for a while, with only the sound of flames crackling and crickets chirping in the distance. Even though Zack's cooking is always delicious, I find myself unable to concentrate on the taste. I chew slowly, thoughtfully. A part of me wonders if I should say something and ask how she's doing, but maybe it'd be better to give her some space. Kara clears her throat.
Thanks for everything you've done for me. I know you all didn't have to go with me to find the Cloaked Brotherhood, and it means a lot to me that you did.
Of course. There's no way we'd let you go through that alone.
Let Kara share an expression of silent gratitude.
I'm glad I finally know what happened to my dad.
She breathes out a big sigh.
It's a bit crazy, but my greatest worry wasn't just that he might be dead, but that maybe he wasn't and he never came back for me.
Kara. She smiles, and for the first time, it looks natural. A bit sad, but also relieved.
It's okay. I know that he would never have abandoned me. Our separation was by force. There's no changing the past. At least now I can move on to bigger and brighter things.
She turns to Zack, and her expression softens.
What about you? Running into Veyer was unexpected, and it sounded like you had a lot of history.
Zack looks up. He hesitates and then tells us a low sigh.
He was like a brother to me. We both lost our families. Both were orphans. We were both taken in by Damon.
Damon was your mentor? Zack nods.
He was the leader of our band of mercenaries, and like a father to me. He taught me everything I know, pushed me to become the best I could be, and showed me how to survive.
He pauses as he stares into the fire.
Vera and I were the youngest. I was around 14 when I joined the group, and Vera had only been there a year longer. We bonded pretty quickly.
His voice chills up and he throws his...
At least, I thought we did. I've been thinking about what he said, and I wonder if he's right. Maybe Damon did favor me.
Even if that's true, doesn't mean he deserves to die for it.
No, of course not. Nothing can excuse what Veyer did.
Leona's voice is gentle.
What happened?
Zack pauses as he collects his thoughts.
We'd been hired to transport a load of weapons. It was supposed to be an easy gig, one we'd all done many times before. Vera was our scout, and Damon and I guarded the trunk as we took passage on the Crystal Rail. Biggs and Jess were stationed in other Crystal Rail cars to spot any suspicious passengers. Damon sent Vera out to make his round on the Crystal Rail, as he had done a few times already. This time, it took longer than usual, and we were worried that he'd encounter some trouble. Damon had me search for Ver and give him back up if needed. I walked around the crystal rail, through the cars, asking the rest of our team if they saw him. No one did, and I couldn't find him. When I got back to Damon...
Zack pauses. Pain ripples across his face, his eyes haunted and bleak.
He was dead.
His voice is flat.
I didn't have time to look at the bodies. The men who killed him were still there, so I jumped out of the crystal rail before they could get me too.
His face curls in disgust.
I assumed Ver died with them. I mourned for him.
His hands grow into fists. Kara reaches out and touches his arm. He flinches and then blinks at her. His eyes refocusing, turns away, take a deep breath. You know, this kind of really, like, his fault. Cause, like, I mean... Like, how do you think he's just dead? Cause, like... If he was gone scouting, you just, like, don't know what happened. He's, like, MIA. Like, how do you think that he got back to the team before you did, and then, like, died? I mean, that's, like, a little convoluted. It'd be more natural to assume that he had just disappeared and, like, made it out safely. And it probably would have been, like, a better turn if it had been implied earlier that Zack was searching for him all this time, and then he finds him part of the, like, Cloak Brotherhood. Like, that would have been a good turn. I kinda get the feeling that this story wasn't totally written out when they started it, so they couldn't plant those seeds earlier, as those chapters were already written.
They never came after you?
He shakes his head.
They probably assume I died jumping out of the crystal rail. After I recovered, I tried to seek out what had happened, but for years I couldn't find a damn thing. I didn't know it was the Cloak Brotherhood, and that Ver could have done that, or would have joined them. I lost everything that day, for the second time in my life.
I try to imagine how it felt to mourn for someone I cared about, only to find out years later that they were alive and had betrayed me. The thought makes my stomach turn. Leona shifts in the quiet Picard, speaks next, her voice low.
And that's when you became the Deathslinger, isn't it?
Zack lifts his head.
Yeah.
The reports from the Mage Guild, they said you would take on suicide missions?
Missions kept my mind from thinking. I was good at what I did, and I had nothing to lose.
Shadows filter further across Zack's face and the group quiet. Leona looks down as Kara places a hand on Zack's arm. He looks at her, and the shadows disappear from his eyes. As they meet, Kara's cheeks begin to color, and Zack cracks the hints of a smile.
But I don't need to be the Deathslinger anymore.
Kara blinks and looks at Zack hopefully.
Oh?
He shrugs. He looks like he's struggling to get the words out. A slight blush dusts his cheeks and he coughs.
I found a reason to live.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's my reaction. Oh, stop it, you. I giggle and flick my wrist at him. Oh, stop it, you. I'm blushing. Zack turns and glares at me.
I didn't mean you, jackass.
Hey, there's the Zack that I know. He crosses his arms but looks I love this with appreciation. This myth has a very strange way of showing his affection.
We should get some sleep. It's been a long day.
I'm not... Yeah, I agree. Every limb and muscle suddenly feels sluggish, and I realize how much I've pushed myself today. The same exhaustion seems to ripple throughout the rest of the group. And rub on my bedroll, and smack it a few times, puffing it out as best I can. Kara is the first one to sleep. The day's event must have really exhausted her. In her sleep, her face looks smooth and peaceful. I hope she's able to get a good night's rest. Zach's bedroll shows a little closer to her. When he gets close, I hear a tiny squeak. The pongo pokes his head out from Kara's bedroll and blinks at Zach. Through my haze of exhaustion, I see Amelia stretch out her hand. Her bracelets shimmer, and the embers of the fire snuff out. My eyes droop shut as I fall asleep. A flock of birds shooting across the sky wakes me. Alright, so that seems like a good place, I think, to end the stream for tonight. We've found, we got backstory, we got cheesy romance, we had it all tonight. Just had some great drama in there, I guess. Anyways, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, hit the bell for notifications, share the stream. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all every Jinx. Check my Twitch schedule to see when I'll be streaming, and check my Twitter to see if there's any last minute changes to the stream schedule stuff. Yeah, so thanks for watching, thanks for supporting. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and hope to see you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.